The 10 best new movies and shows coming to Netflix in 2025. Welcome to Popcorn Time. Today, we'll be covering 10 of the most exciting movies and TV shows coming to Netflix in 2025. Number 10. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. You can tell Nick Cage has been enjoying his weird era. He's been a rich and famous guy at the top of his game for decades, and he's finally letting his freak flag fly. Everything he does these days is at least a little surreal and self-deprecating, and hell, we're here for it.
What have you got there?
Divine inspiration. LSD. Fuck it.
Take The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. In this meta-comedy action film, he plays a fictionalized version of who else? Nick Cage. And guess what? This Nick Cage is a famous actor whose career is stagnating while his personal life falls apart. Desperate, he takes a Spanish superfan up on his $1 million offer to attend his birthday party. However, things aren't as they seem, and Nick soon finds himself at the center of high-stakes geopolitical intrigue.
We will both die, and I could never live with myself after that, so you let go! You let go! Goodbye, Nicolas Cage. I'll never forget your hands.
Number 9. Lion. This biographical film recounts the unlikely life story of Saru Brierley. Born into poverty in rural India, Saru accidentally boards the wrong train while following his brother to work one day and ends up stranded on the other side of the country. Unable to speak the local language, he's eventually put into a local orphanage where he's adopted by an Australian couple living in Tasmania. As an adult, Saru resolves to find his lost family using Google Earth. Starring Dev Patel as Saru, with Rooney Mara and Nicole Kidman in supporting roles, Lion is an uplifting and well-produced exploration of what it means to have a home. Number 8. You Hurt My Feelings. This comedy stars Seinfeld alum Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Beth, a creative writing professor who overhears her normally supportive husband bad-mouthing her latest book and begins to doubt both herself and her relationships. This leads to a funny and often quite smart meditation on the foibles of ego and aging, as Beth and her husband work through the uselessness of telling white lies.
You're gonna talk to him. Well, that's a joke. I am never gonna be able to look him in the face ever again. Okay, that's over.
It doesn't hurt, but You Hurt My Feelings will hit you in the feels. And if you enjoyed Veep, Julia's other comedy about insecure professionals, stop watching this and add it to your queue already.
I was on my way to class. I thought I'd drop by and say hi, so hi.
We got in a new strain. You want to try? Very mellow.
No,
Mom, you smoke weed. I work in a weed store. Take it.
I'm not gonna buy pop from you.
You go to that place, it's a total ripoff.
I do not.
You do.
Okay, I don't want to talk about this.
You can buy it from me.
Oh, no thank you.
Number 7. Back in Action. Cameron Diaz's first star turn in over a decade fittingly features the famous blonde as a retired spy getting back in action. And if you've been missing your Cameron fix, this will be a welcome return. Not only is she kicking ass, but she's doing it in exotic locales while trading quips with no less than Jamie Foxx.
What the?
Jamie, it turns out, is also a retired spy, and her husband. And when their identities are exposed, they find that old habits aren't easy to quit.
Come on, go, 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 go.
Come on, get in the car. Come on.
Wait, did you see what we just saw?
Did you
you see what we just did? Look, Alice, we've always taught you to question authority, and I love that about you, but it's time to get in the damn car!
And you're cursing? Come on.
This will be a fun ride for millennials who remember Cameron Diaz as a 90s it girl. She hasn't lost a step, it's clear, and is having the most fun she's had on screen since Charlie's Angels. Number 6. Interstellar. Arguably the 2010's best film in the genre, this acclaimed science fiction epic by director Christopher Nolan features one of Matthew McConaughey's best performances as a NASA test pilot charged with investigating a wormhole that might just save humanity. In the process, he's forced to deal with the effects of time dilation on his family.
With equipment on board, we incubate the first 10. After that, with surrogacy, the growth becomes exponential. Within 30 years, we could have a colony of hundreds. The real difficulty with colonization is genetic diversity. This takes care of that.
Jessica Chastain gives a stunning performance of her own as Matthew's grown-up daughter. And now that it's returning to Netflix, it's the perfect time to show your kids or your partner that movie you've been yapping about for the last decade.
The laws of nature prohibit a naked singularity.
Romley, is that true?
If a black hole is an oyster, then the singularity is the pearl inside. The gravity's so strong, it's always hidden in darkness, behind the horizon. That's why we call it a black hole.
Okay. Number 5. Number 24. This Norwegian biographical drama depicts the true story of Gunnar Sandstenby, that country's most decorated veteran of the Second World War. But Gunnar was not an enlisted man. He was a resistance fighter.
Take these with you, and always carry them. You cannot let them take you alive.
In this tightly wound thriller, director John Andreas Andreessen attempts to probe a man's unresolved anxiety over what he thought he had to do. Was everything necessary? Every lie, every betrayal, every assassination?
Because what happens in war is that subtle differences just disappear and things become black and white. And all at once, completely different rules apply.
Who's taken whom, when, where? That is vital information you and I die with. Do you hear me?
A lot of moral ambiguities are frequently plowed under in pursuit of freedom. By alternating between Gunnar's wartime exploits and the man he later becomes, viewers are forced to grapple with big questions and unintended consequences. Number 4. Schindler's List. This 90s classic, Steven Spielberg's great Holocaust film, is a study in perfect storytelling. If God forbid you don't know already, Schindler's List is the real-life story of Oskar Schindler, a German industrialist who used his wits and personal influence to save more than 1,000 mostly Polish Jewish refugees from the Holocaust. Liam Neeson gives the performance of a lifetime on the title role, while Ralph Fiennes immortalizes SS officer Amon Goth as one of the film's great villains, and Ben Kingsley conveys palpable anxiety as the Jewish employee who must persuade Oskar to give in to his conscience.
Report that my heap of hinges was so unsatisfactory because the machines were being recalibrated this morning. I was put on to shoveling coal.
Number 3. American Primeval. This upcoming miniseries from director Peter Berg is set in the Utah Territory in 1857 and depicts the Wild West as being very, well, unsettled. That is, as a land whose future is still unwritten, where Mormon prophets, Native Americans, outlaws, and the U.S. federal government are all making claims, and all at cross purposes.
What is it that you want to do?
Well, I'd first like to get settled in Salt Lake Valley, but then
Forced into the middle of this simmering conflict is Sarah, a fugitive mother traveling west in search of her husband. But her story gets wrapped up with that of Isaac, a professional tracker. And soon, conflict breaks out between Mormons and other settlers, leading Abish, a young Mormon woman, to seek refuge with the Shoshone tribe.
What's your plan, friend? You gonna take her back east collect? The way I see it, my helping you transport something that's valuable is this. It's sure worth more than $100.
Number 2, Missing You. This British thriller series follows police detective Kat Donovan after she discovers her former fiancé on a dating app, a decade after his unexplained disappearance.
My mum's missing. You're the only one that can find her.
At the risk of reopening an old wound, she decides to investigate, and in the process discovers connections to an ongoing missing persons case. Meanwhile, new revelations threaten to reopen an even older wound, the death of her father, a legendary police detective. Eventually, Kat must come to terms with the man her father really was.
She said she was going on a trip with her boyfriend.
Could you be dead?
This is the guy she went away with.
Number 1, Kunk on Life. This dryly funny take on ponderous nature documentaries, such as the BBC's Planet Earth series, is the brainchild of comedian Diane Morgan, who plays namesake host Philomena Kunk. Undertaking a mission to ask the big question about life and existence, Miss Kunk muses philosophically over footage of waterfalls and soaring eagles. Have you ever wondered about all the incredible and musky animals we share our planet with? What's up with them?
My mate Paul tried to create a new life form by inserting his DNA into a grapefruit, but halfway through the experiment, the greengrocer started hitting him. Why is science so controversial?
Sorry, that question didn't follow from your story of the
No,
DNA
it changed, yeah.
You might flash back to the Ali G show. Meanwhile, when she interviews real-life scientists and thinkers who are all perfectly oblivious to her shtick.
Is that the brain generates consciousness, but consciousness gives us the ability to do things that we wouldn't be able to do if we weren't conscious.
Thank you. And apparently I wasn't supposed to read that card aloud, so apologies to you at home.
Are there any shows or movies we missed, or any that you hope to see on Netflix soon? Share with us in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you love this video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification for more videos like this one.